Welcome to our introduction to mental wellness. I'm DG, founder of Recover. We've been working on this for over 5 years now and delighted to be in a place where we can bring this short video to you today to just give you a bit of an introduction and a view on some of the things that you want to be thinking about as you go on your own journey. There's been a big focus across society over the last couple of years around mental health and trying to build our awareness to an area that's potentially had a lot of stigma around it in the past. Today really what we want to do is to provide a short introduction to mental wellness and to explain some of the concepts so that you can build a better understanding of really what mental health and mental wellness means, but also be in a place where you can put in practice some simple principles that potentially can help either yourself or others around you that are impacted by mental well-being. We all have our own mountains to climb, the day-to-day dramas at home, work and play. The truth is that we all want to change how we feel. However, our always-on society has led us to believe that to feel good, we need fame, fortune or other material goods. Recover is about developing understanding beyond the current awareness raising around mental wellness. And through that, in the regular activities, you can cultivate better mental well-being. Let's start with the basics. As we go through our day-to-day journeys in life, we have experiences throughout the day. We view these experiences, emotions or feelings, which can either be positive or negative. How we interpret these emotions can be based upon various factors, from our past programming to how our body reacts, from experiences that we've had in the past or our overall general mood. Our mind is like an iceberg. There's the bit we control at the top, the conscious mind, and the large subconscious mind that comes pre-programmed at birth with survival programming and the systems to run our bodies. Think of your day-to-day conscious behaviours as something that over time will train and determine how the subconscious mind thinks and reacts. Some of us could have some glitches in that programming, but for many of us that core programming is sound, with one major glitch in that our minds have not evolved fast enough to adopt fully to modern living. So they regularly misinterpret bumps in the road as survival level events and mobilise our fight or flight survival systems to get us out of danger. This can leave us feeling physically very unwell. In most cases, these aren't life-threatening challenges, but issues about work, money, relationships, poor communication, and not feeling that you're good enough. You don't run or fight, and as a result, you can be left feeling physically ill for as long as your mind misinterprets this danger in front of you. This can go on for days, months, or even years. In essence, our perception becomes our reality. As we interpret different emotions and feelings depending on different situations that we find ourselves in, it's important to understand how our body reacts to stress and anxiety or depression. Generally what you're looking at is that the brain is going to shut down the logical mind to focus on that danger. As a result of that, blood flows to vital organs in your muscles to optimise performance. Your body and your mind speed up. You're going to sweat so that the system's being cooled, ready for what lies ahead. Your muscles are going to tighten, ready for action. Your breathing's going to get heavy to increase the oxygen supply to your body as your vision blurs to focus on the danger that lies ahead. And at the same time, your digestion is shutting down to be able to maximise the power in fighting. Other things that you may feel are levels of dizziness and just general being unwell. And a lot of it is all because the body is designed for life or death situations, whereas today that's a rare occurrence, but we just not evolved quickly enough to be in a place where our body and mind can really deal with modern living, and in particularly that's being accelerated in today's society with our constant use of technology and our engagement in things like social media and such. If we can better understand these trigger points and then how our body's reacting, it gives us an opportunity then to take more control and to effectively use some of the tips and techniques that we talk about here to counteract when our body's been triggered into a fight or flight state. If you think about your mind like a bank account, if you're always making withdrawals, you'll live your life in overdraft and risk bankruptcy over time. You need to find the balance and consciously make deposits into your mind bank account to counterbalance your spending. Good things that you can do from a positive perspective is make sure that you're getting the right level of sleep. You're putting the right nutrition into your body. Your body was designed to move. Again, to this point about evolution, we weren't designed to sit at desks or sit on sofas. We were designed to move, so you've got to get out there and drive motion to create positive emotion. Gratitude, focusing in on what's good in your life, and that might be simple things like your eyes and your ability to see, or your ears and your ability to hear, having a roof over your head, and as you go through life, looking at the fact that in a lot of cases we do have choices, and you can turn and make far more positive choices than you maybe currently do. On the negative side, it's trying to understand the fact that things like tiredness can have quite a detrimental impact to you, that if your mind's not getting the rest that it needs, it's not going to put you into a good place. Equally, eating a bad diet, drinking too much, or using drugs in whatever capacity, these things can all have detrimental impact in terms of how they impact your mind. Low or no exercise, we've kind of touched on. Having this kind of mindset of never being satisfied, it's never good enough. Looking at the world around you, whether that's on social media or in other places, and thinking that you're hard done by. And generally just going through life making negative choices. And that might be the chatter that's in your head, or things that you verbalise. But I think it's looking at how do you really take control of what you say, both out of your mouth and the chatter inside your head. At Recover, we've developed a number of activities that we would really encourage people to look at on a day-to-day basis that kind of builds on what we were talking about in the kind of mind bank account. One of the first pieces that we talk about is breathing. You can really change your mental and physical state very quickly by doing deep breathing techniques. We recommend a process that's referred to as diaphragmatic breathing. What you effectively do is you take a deep breath in for the count of 4, you hold your breath for the count of 7, and then you exhale for the count of 8. And you do this repeatedly until you feel your body relaxing. But it's proven scientifically to counteract the fight or flight system within your body and return you to a more relaxed feeling. Another aspect, if you think about it, is that if you trigger fight or flight and you're feeling anxious or stressed, the blood flow can leave your extremities, your hands and your feet feeling cold, because the blood being redirected by your brain to effectively your vital organs so that you can fight or flight. And as a result of that, simple things like filling a sink full of hot water, or putting them under and putting your hands in it, or putting them under a hot air blower that you'll find in public toilets and such, that heat draws back the blood flow to the extremities and counteracts fight or flight again. Schedule laughter, a movie, go to a stand-up show, do things that are going to make you laugh. It's a really good therapy. Talking is always seen as one of those obvious kind of aspects, but if you think about being triggered from a stress perspective, your logical brain shuts down, so the opportunity to express or discuss the problems that you're facing or you're feeling with someone else whose brain is fully engaged and not in fight or flight will start to give you different perspectives that you're maybe not in that place to actually see or think through, because your body's natural survival instinct has shut down part of your brain, and as a result of it you aren't thinking in the same way that you normally would. Another great exercise to focus in on a daily basis is gratitude. What are the good things in life that you can really celebrate? Exercise. Get out there, get moving. It doesn't need to be extreme, but it needs to be regular and consistent. And one of the best places to do that is in nature. Switch off the stimuli, whether that's social media, your phone, your television, or even music that you're listening to that's maybe designed to get you going. If you're out for a walk or exercise, it's finding that balance. The next area really to touch upon is nutrition. Scientifically, a lot of our good brain chemicals are actually created in our gut. So it's really important to think about what you're putting in your body and whether it's feeding and providing the nutrients to generate those good chemicals, or whether we're putting in rubbish, processed food, sugars, these types of things which will not produce the good chemicals to support a happy, healthy mind. I'd like to spend a little bit more time just to talk about mindfulness and meditation, as they're areas that I think sometimes can seem a little bit far out there, and I think that the greater you can build your understanding as to what they are doing and achieving when you practice them can be really powerful. One aspect to kind of understand or to think about with your brain is that when you are in a stressed state, you tend to find that the brain is operating in what they would class as a beta wave. And by being in a place where you can transition that brain wave to a alpha or theta brain wave, it's going to take you into a far more relaxed mindset, but also it's going to bring back the logical mind and such. So there's a great opportunity to get onto things like YouTube or your music streaming service if you use one, and search for meditation tracks that are in either alpha or theta brainwave alignment, and listen to that sound or music for 10, 15 minutes a day to start with. Try to build that up to 20 to 25 minutes, or alternatively kind of do it a couple of times a day for shorter periods of time. But what you'll find is that you're transitioning your brain from this kind of stressed, anxious state to a far more relaxed, thoughtful and mindful way of thinking. I hope you found this short session useful. What I find in life is that lots of people know what to do, but they don't do what they know. And if you really want to be in a place where you change how you feel, you need to effectively make the right choices to define your tomorrow.